I see other people balling, like Carson Wentz balled.
I was
last
waiting
night.
for you to bring him up.
How about Zach Ertz making a big
Zach
run
Ertz
after catch
balled.
for a touchdown?
Yak
I'll tell
yardage
you,
away. You know
Nobody's
what I'm saying?
happier to get out of here than people who
Oh,
are
I know.
here.
I know.
Barrett must have been thrilled through the roof when he was done here.
I thought I was going to play with Barry. Yeah, I thought.
Mhm.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
All right, the ever-changing conversation now about the Philadelphia Eagles. Boy, I tell you, this has been an absolute disgrace of a football team to watch across the board. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's not even that they're bad. I mean, Barrett just mentioned it. The stream is all over it, Harry, as far as the Detroit Lions. I can't believe it, but we found teams worse in the standings that fight harder than the Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles seem to fight hard when it doesn't matter.
Right. When the game's out of reach in the fourth quarter, they'll make it, they'll make a comeback and make it look somewhat respectable. So if you didn't watch the game, you're like, wow, they only lost by 6 to Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Yeah,
amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's why that line was so short.
Right.
I don't know, man. To me, I see it a little differently. Like I see what Robert Saleh said about the Jets. He says these are grown men. If you need somebody, and it's just my opinion, to be on your butt yelling at you and get you going as a player in a game in which you paid a king's ransom, then you don't deserve to wear the logo. Period. So I see that aspect. I don't think it's a part of them wanting to play hard, because I think they play hard. They play extremely hard. But I think that they're undisciplined, number one. Number two, they're not coached aggressively enough to be aggressive. This is a city in which we love our defense to be kicked, to go out there, take names, kick butt, punch in the mouth. I mean, all that stuff.
All right.
Well, they just don't have the coach to bring that out in them.
Well, explain to me and Eytan in the stream what you think they're asking Fletcher Cox to do. Like what he's being kind of hogtied, right? He's he's not allowed to do the things that he does. So what are they asking him to do?
All right, in the defense he just left with Coach Schwartz,
Mm-hmm.
he was asked to get up the field, penetrate, get to your gap, and once you get to your gap and get through your gap, you've done. It opens up the holes in the interior of the defense, because once you've gotten to your gap, the linebackers aren't filling into their gap. They're still playing at linebacker level. So all right. So if for instance, here's the guard in the center. If you got the guard in the center, you jump the gap on the outside because you have the C gap. The linebacker has the B gap.
Mm-hmm.
The backside knows he's got to come and get the A gap. He's got that A gap. That leaves a chasm of a hole because that linebacker's playing so far back that he's not filling the gap that he's supposed to have. Because once he jump out the gap, it takes away that double team. Now that linebacker can come up and get on the linebacker there. The guard is on the linebacker there. So he's not filling this gap, number one, but it's also a chasm because the tackle jumped his gap. He's gone. He's out of the play. He gets moved out of the play just from
So it's
him.
a passive type of scheme.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like get to your gap, stay there, and
Yeah.
fill your gap. Don't go make a play.
And hope the other guys do their assignment.
Ah-da-da.
Yeah.
Ah-da-da. So you get to your gap, you stay there, fill your gap, and hope everybody else is doing the same. But that's not a defense in which and that's a passive defense. It's very passive. Why don't you play a defense when you're attacking? Get up the field, jump the gap, get up the field, go make a play. If everybody is doing that, you got dogs in there trying to hunt now, but instead you're sitting there waiting for everybody else to get to the party. I was never the one to get to the party. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wanted to get there and make some stuff happen.
Right.
I wasn't going to wait for anybody else, and that's what's happening. They're wait for everybody else to get to the party so they can make a grand entrance.
I would usually hold my own pre-party before the party.
Pre-game?
Yeah.
Get in there and make it happen, baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go see what's the best looking thing in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on it first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot my shot early.
Right.
And at this point, and at this point, that's what's going on.
Oh,
Fletcher
man.
wants to shoot the gap. He wants to go out there. He wants to take his shot. You know what I'm saying? He feels as though he got to get the gap. He gonna take his shot and wait for everybody else. But he's not doing that. I mean, they want him to play passive. He's not a passive dude. Now, if you watch Hargraves, when Hargraves is doing it, he's pressing this guy back. He's still staying engaged, pressing this guy back, but he's moving the pile. But he is also creating a gap because nobody's filling in his backside gap either. So these guys are playing aggressive, but it's just not within the scheme work of the team.
Right.
So you're asking guys to slow down and play defense. You can't ask guys to slow down and play defense. Why are you asking Fletcher Cox to slow down? Don't tell him to slow down. Let him go. Unleash the dog. Release the hounds. You know what I mean?
Well, now this Miles Sanders thing looks like it's going to go on for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What do they do?
I'm soon.
What do they do? Do they go get
They
Jordan
got Howard
up from the practice squad?
Yeah.
He comes up and they still run the same offense because they're not gonna run. They're gonna pass anyway.
Right.
So he's a good pass blocker. So it fits right in what they want to do anyway.
Right.
But that's the point, right? Is that you have a guy that is already a breakout guy. He can get in the open field and he can cause people to miss. You weren't using Miles Sanders. Now with Jordan Howard coming from the practice squad, I'm expected to believe that they would actually run.
No,
They're going to stick exactly to the game plan, which is going to frustrate us even more.
I will no more be morally acceptable. It's no longer morally acceptable for me to become emotionally invested in this team.
Wow.
You're
I morally cannot
divesting
do
your
it.
emotions
Yes,
after
I am.
7 weeks.
It wouldn't be morally right for me to keep putting myself and my feelings through this.
Wow.
It's just not. It's not morally right.
I am not mentally prepared to invest my emotions going forward with this Philadelphia Eagles
It
football
will not
team.
happen. It will not happen because I will end up having ulcers messing around with this team.
All right, now where are your emotions
That's
going to be? Do you go down to the Sixers now? Do you get more invested in them or the Flyers?
Can't be the Flyers. Come on.
I got to go with the Sixers now.
Yeah.
I got to go with the Sixers. You know what I mean?
Gambling, smoking. You're going to take up some other activity here.
What vice are you going to pick up?
Right.
Eitan's got a couple of extra vices.
Let me
that you
know.
can pick up.
Hold on. Let me open up my coat pocket. I got a couple right here for you. Absolutely, man.
Do we have to go to the texts from yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
100 milligrams. 100 milligrams and running. That's the new song.
Oh my God.
I'll start investing in some gummies or something.
I tell you, man, you pop one of those 100 milligram suckers, and you have a nice little.
I don't have a medicine that I take right now that has over 100 milligrams in it.
My mom asked me, what is he talking about with this 100 milligram stuff? I had to tell her. I had to break it down.
Yeah, you had to do it to me, huh? Tell you, man. Sometimes you can only get them in, like 10.
Uh-huh.
So if you're used to the 100, you can't pop 10 pills. What's going on there? So it's all about the rotation of what's in, what's out. That's all.
Bro, so I'm trying to think. I take Tylenol. Sometimes that's ibuprofen. I do take ibuprofen. There's 600 milligrams. That's about it. 100 grams of something. That's a lot of something, bro.
Ibuprofen. This is
I'm talking about
nothing
THC, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to compare the amount of medicine I'm getting if I took 100 milligrams or something that you have.
You pop one of these 100 milligrams, you start texting about Mo Alley Cox.
I don't know what the hell that was. I was like,
I was killing it with those Mo Alley props.
Oh my God.
I was all propped up with Mo Alley. Oh, Mo Alley? Come on. Absolutely, man. I'm telling you, there's something else on that.
Oh, goodness.
Are you taking ibuprofen to not to feel a buzz or anything, right?
No, you can't get a buzz off ibuprofen.
No, there's better stuff for that. You could pop a bunch of Tylenol 3s if they still have those out. Right?
Bro,
do they still make those?
I don't know. I think they took them off
M&Ms. We used to call them M&Ms, bro.
The Tylenol 3s?
Yeah, they used to give it to us in these little white packets. That's why all these players were all screwed up, man, because they just hand us just a little bag of them, little white medicine bag with them. Just hand it to us. Hey, here, you got some pain? Here, take this. Take this.
Wow, there you go.
They're just giving it to us.
So you weren't tweeting about Mo Alley Cox at that point, though.
That Brett Favre stash.
Yeah, seriously.
Right.
You start showing yourself to
him and
You
Chewy.
start hitting those Vicodins, then you start taking a picture of your Mo Alley Cox and sending it to people. Yeah, that's what happens.
Each their own, man.
That's
I told you,
exactly
this is blackout material right here. All right. I black out. I send you texts I don't remember. Favre blacks out. He sends texts he don't remember.
Right.
Little difference, though, the content.
Yeah. Oh, my.
He sends out Fletchers, huh?
You never know.
Yeah.
I would have blamed it on that. Why did he blame it on that?
I know.
blacked out from pain pills.
Right.
Half the country would have believed it.
Right.
No,
Seriously.
they would have felt sorry for him.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on that stuff, too.
Yeah.
I got prescribed that stuff, too. That's right.
All they have to do is just sit it out. Just say, I hate to do it to you. Then he sends it.
Right.
It's all good then.
Right.
It's all good.
Yep. No, I think so. You would be loving life, to say the least.
But how bad was the card yesterday for the overall NFL? I mean, we had 1 o'clock. You had locally here. The only game you had to watch was the Bengals and the Ravens, and the Bengals ended up making that a blowout.
Yes.
Then at 4, you either had the Bears, Bucks, or the Eagles, Raiders. It was terrible.
Eagles,
Horrible.
Raiders, the 4 o'clock games were tough because although if anybody was watching live, you had the Cardinals were down to 12 at one point.
Yeah.
So able to smash that.
Well, they ended up covering their original number.
Right.
Yeah,
And
31-5 or
time.
something, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the Bears-Bucks game was over from the jump. Chicago was awful. And the only other game that really had any value to it was the Rams-Lions game because LA took forever to really
Detroit
get going.
got out to a 10-0 lead in that game.
Yeah, but once the Raiders did what they did in the second quarter and you went into the half, you just kind of had a feeling that the scoreboard may not reflect it, but it's going to be a blowout. And then all of a sudden it's 30-7.
Yeah.
30-7.
Yeah.
Did you see this? I think John Clark had it. It was from Barrett's crew over there on NBC. But have you seen this whole thing as far as how bad it's been for the media? I'm looking at his page for the Eagles down in each of these games. Did you see that graphic? Did they run it? All right, here it is. Eagles, the last 6 games. All right. Got down 30-7 to the Raiders.
Now, where is this on his Twitter?
Yeah, it's Twitter 16 hours ago. Got down 30-7 to the Raiders. Got down 28-7 to the Bucks. Got down 15-6 to Carolina. All right, they come back on that. 28-16 down to the Chiefs. 27-7 down to Dallas. 17-3 down to the Niners.
Wow.
6 of 7 games, they've been down at least 11 points. At least. And that's the least amount they've been down is 11 points.
Yeah.
It's so depressing. It's so depressing to me, man, because when I see that, at the time I'm looking at that stuff, when I'm watching these games, I see other people balling, like Carson Wentz balled.
I was waiting for you to bring him up.
How about Zach Ertz making a big run after catch for a touchdown?
Yak yardage away.
Nobody's happier to get out of here than people who have played here.
I know.
Barrett must have been thrilled through the roof when he was done here.
I thought I was going to play with Barry. Yeah. I thought.
At least but think about it.
Andy Reid knew that already. Andy Reid knew that Barry Sanders was going to walk away from the game.
You got it. Who's coming in to block who?
Right.
Oh, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Right. Maybe somebody said something ahead of time, like Frank Gore calling Shady, right? Or maybe it's the other way around. Somebody called up Barry. Was like, "Hey man, this Brooks guy, you better get out when you can."
Think about this. Zach Ertz spent 8+ years here, and he plays 1 game in Arizona and gets the longest touchdown catch of his career in the first game. Think about that.
How is that possible?
That's what it says. Zach Ertz.
No, I know, but how is it possible, right?
It's
amazing.
All of a sudden, he's a yak monster.
I'm telling you. Yeah, not Yak Balls, the famous rapper.
Right.
You don't know about Yak Balls.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Bro.
You got to Google Yak, Y-A-K, Yak Balls.
Yak
all right.
balls.
No, but you're right. He, just a way old, innocuous name. Oh, it's Y-A-C? Sorry.
Oh.
No, he's talking about yards after catch. I'm talking about Yak, the rapper, Joey's talking about Yak the yards after
Is that
catch.
like Yak the animal? Like he's named after the animal Yak?
I don't know if he's named after the animal, but yes, I think it's Yak, like the animal. But that's all this was, a career day for Zach, a huge night in the rain. I mean, Carson probably throws for 400 yards if it's not pouring out last night against.
Now, he did have that fumble in the red zone.
Yeah, he always fumbles.
Yeah,
he always fumbles.
Yeah,
and the pick was only a second all year.
Mm-hmm.
We always get, man, we always have stuff that happens. We're just jinxed, bro. Our sports in Philadelphia has been jinxed ever since we won that damn Super Bowl. It might have been the worst thing that could have happened to us, because from that point on, Howie and the owner felt empowered. They feel as though they won that Super Bowl, so they do whatever the hell they want to do and how they want to do it now. We never get, just like the snap, the fumble. You know, what's the chances of the offensive guard?
Have you ever seen that? I've never seen. I was with Mike this morning on Fox, and he said it on, and I was thinking to myself, even Gary said it, and you played on the line. Have you ever? It's one thing if a guy's moving, right? If he pulls right on the snap, or maybe he gets out a little early, it's not called, and he pulls too early. I've seen that happen, right? But have you seen a guard call a coverage or makes a move like that to where it gets? I've never seen that before ever in my life. Have you?
No. I mean, I've pulled before and stepped on the quarterback's foot. He got to get the heck out of there.
Right.
But never hitting the. I'm like, how does that happen? First of all, his split was too far. I mean, too close. He got to widen out a little bit. And how's his hand there before the ball's even snapped? That's the type of thing that just happens to us. It happens to us. We always get the lesser brother. You know what I'm saying? we never get nice things, bro. Never get nice things. Instead, we got Ben Simmons instead of getting Brandon. We should have went with Brandon.
Yep.
Should follow my first mind. Get the score. Forget is he 6'9", he can handle the ball. I don't care. I want a score. Should have had a score, bro.
All right, now here I see a source on ESPN.com says Deshaun Watson is open to trade destinations besides Miami.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I saw your boy Matt Rule doing everything he can to save his job.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold with the Jets now. And he was in the Meadowlands, just to make it clear yesterday. He was Sam Darnold of the Jets.
What has happened to him? I can't think. I mean, this is
get benched.
Yeah, he got benched. Got benched for PJ. He was horrible.
Yeah,
he was terrible. The Giants defense wasn't even doing like crazy stuff. It was just he was so bad. Ridiculous.
It is what it is, man. I mean, this is a great franchise.
Yeah,
but I think they think too highly of themselves right now. Think that they can pull themselves out without any help from anybody else. That's the problem. They think they don't need a football guy. They don't need anybody like that. They don't need somebody to be a personnel guy that can.
Well, that's the owner's fault.
Pick talent.
That's the owner's fault. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Talent, man.
I don't know what. I just don't know why he keeps this guy around, but it's his fault.
Yep, it is.
I mean, it's totally his fault.
I understand. That's why I don't play fantasy football and stuff like that. I don't play it because, number one, I think with my heart. So I thought, he was a great player when I played. He played the same position. I'm going to pick him. I think he's just because of the name makes me a horrible GM. A horrible GM. But you sit me on a field and you let me watch a player, I can tell you who's talented, who's not, who can make some great plays and who can't make great plays. I can do all that stuff. But I can't pick like for fantasy football because I'm not a day-to-day type of guy that I can go in and say, he's going to do this game. I'm not good at that.
No,
that's why I don't bet. I don't think they're going to score more points. I don't do that. But I can sit there and I can be a great talent evaluator though. Great talent evaluator.
I went 3-0 yesterday and 2-1 in college this week, so that was a pretty good week for me.
Dang, you did.
The only loss I had was UCLA. I had the Okie State and Wisconsin on Saturday. How about Penn State getting beat in overtime? 9 overtimes. The overtime rule in college is a joke.
It was
now,
Illinois,
I'm not trying to defend Penn State, but you can't lose at home to Illinois with the starting quarterback playing, period. They were, a 24.5-point favorite, I think, in that game?
That's what you told me.
Outrageous.
Wow, that kind of knocked them out.
They're done. The season's over. Yeah,
they knocked the Big Ten out of.
They got Ohio State next week. Now, Penn State, if they could suddenly rise up, they could really screw up the college football playoff if they beat Ohio State next week. That would be pretty cool for chaos purposes.
It kind of guarantees that the Bearcats will be,
Well, they got to run the table though. They can't lose.
I think they'll do that. They'll do that easy.
Yeah,
they'll do that easy. They'll be in the playoffs. Who won that Notre Dame game?
Notre Dame won.
They did
over USC. Yeah, they won. I'm looking at a mock draft here for the Eagles, taking Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame, with their own pick.
That's pretty good. It'll probably be number 2.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
And the first quarterback off the board is Matt Corral going to Washington.
At number 5?
They have him at number 7 in this mock draft. Thibodeau's the first player off the board. Jacksonville.
Oh.
I guess that's where we are. We got to start looking at mock drafts now. You're
not going to pull me in.
Because we got 3 good picks when the quarterback crop is not very good.
Right. They suck. Same thing happened. Look, the same thing happened to us when we picked up Carson.
Yeah.
That was a horrible quarterback.
They have him taking a linebacker in the first round. Now, does this guy even? This discounts the whole thing. CBSSports.com. Christian Harris from Alabama going to the Eagles with one of their picks. Let me give you this guy's name because he obviously is not in the loop when it comes to what the Eagles value.
Didn't know who he was beforehand. I have no interest in who he is now.
Ryan Wilson.
Nope.
3 hours ago, this was done. Wow.
Zero interest in whoever this is.
I'm out on this one.
Yeah. No.
I'm out. Are we into this game tonight? Do we care about Geno Smith?
Yeah, I got a bunch of
+4.
Yep. Got a bunch of things going on here.
Are you on the Seahawks?
A bunch of player stuff, really, with
player props.
Yeah, that's going to be. Look, it's a high total, but I don't think Seattle is really going to do much. I wouldn't mind laying the 4. I'm not going to touch the line. I'm probably just going to go under the total at 42. I'm really interested in some player props, though, mainly from Geno. Geno is 200.5 passing
yards.
Yeah, I was hoping that they had a longest reception. They do have longest completion here. So both of these guys, 34.5, 33.5. It's juiced a little high. The one I would do, though, is Jameis Winston under 25.5 pass attempts. You can get that in even money. Okay. Yeah, pass attempts. They're going to win, but they're going to be up. And there's not going to be that need. There's no shootout. There's none of that. Saints defense against the run is probably the best in the NFL. So don't expect Allen Collins to go crazy. Although the number at 46.5 is another one I like. That's been reduced because of the matchup. Collins, remember that overtime game against the Steelers went over 100 yards. And at 46.5, I know the Saints defense is insane, but I would do that. I would go over 46.5. And the last one is under 19.5 rushing yards for Jameis Winston.
I can't believe that. I can't believe the Seahawks right now are 2-4.
Well, they lost their quarterback in a game.
Yep.
And then they played another game without him, right?
And they've already played a couple of division games.
Yeah, they haven't had their running back either.
Right.
But still, they're going to have the same record as after tonight. They're going to have the same record as the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see them as being as bad.
Now,
as
who would
we
you
are.
take in that matchup? A 2-5 Seahawks? They'd be favored by how much over the Eagles?
At least 2 touchdowns. Well, at least 10.
No.
At least 10.
Right? No, I think so. I mean, look, Kamara's an interesting one too, to be honest with you. There's some good value out there for Kamara.
Great value.
92.5 is his rushing yards. 92.5.
Seems high, doesn't it?
Yeah, but Seattle's defense is not good. So, you know what? The best markets now are longest reception. I hit that with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert last night or yesterday on the books had his longest reception at 19 and a half, right?
Yeah.
That was, do you see his first grab? It was like 30 yards, right?
His first 2 catches were pretty long ones, and he ended up with 60 yards, somewhere around there with 3 catches. Yeah.
So receiving yards are tough because, one big catch or you could just be under these numbers, but longest reception is a workable market where you really only need, like, for example, Alvin Kamara's longest reception is 14 and a half yards. He gets a quick
pass. A screen pass, and he can run that for 25.
Exactly.
Metcalf is 22 and a half, and Lockett is 19 and a half. That's one grab for Metcalf, one grab for Lockett.
Yeah.
But I don't understand that because, at this point, Lockett's going to get something deep anyway. He's always getting a deep pass. He's on 19, and Metcalf is more than he is.
Metcalf's 22 and a half. But you're right. Like, they took Quez Watkins off the board because we kept pounding that every week. They took him off. You couldn't bet him longest reception this past game yesterday.
Well, you had good money this game.
No, that's what I'm saying, against the Raiders. He was off the board. Crazy, right?
Well, what did he even do yesterday?
Nothing.
Yeah,
but the point is that you couldn't even bet that.
Yeah.
He couldn't do anything because the tackles were getting beat too fast.
Once again, Jalen Reagor, for whatever reason, is up here. And he has receiving yard props that are up here. And every single week, I'm pounding the under, and every single week it's paying off. I don't know how he's still on the board as far as a guy you can bet on. Now, granted, the week before I got benefit because the pass interferences, 2 PI calls helped me out big time. But his receiving yards, I just want to make sure I have the right number here, 31 and a half, which isn't super high.
No.
Doesn't that seem ridiculously high for Reagor?
It does. What do you have? 25 yesterday.
Now, granted, and he had one grab before the
17 yards.
Right, before the garbage time when they were down 11 and they tried to get something going at the end. That was it. Just one.
Yep.
Craziness, man. Craziness. Yeah, Goddard, 19 and a half.
Foster Moreau, man.
Not the Isle of Moreau.
Tell you what, the island of Dr. Moreau.
That's right. Was that who was in that? Who was Dr. Moreau? Wasn't it? What's his name from Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yes,
Marlon Brando.
Yes, the original. Yes.
I turned the grape into a monkey. How does he sound? Right? That's not him.
No, he does. He kind of has that raspy, like a voice.
Did he really put cotton balls in his mouth for the Godfather?
That's the legend. Yeah, that's the legend. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're back in 3. Hit that thumbs up button. Hour 2 coming your way next on The Middle.